Welcome to DorkDuo. We are the Dorks. I am Adam, and this is Steve. And this week we are talking Young Justice, Inhumans, and other nerdly news. But first, we have a small announcement in that, against our better judgment, we will be going to go see Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them sometime this week. We don't know exactly when. And we will have our review up at our earliest convenience in a separate video. It's going to be its own separate review, and it's probably going to be shorter than our Doctor Strange review, because our Doctor Strange review is us just kind of rambling about the MCU for a while. So I'm willing to bet that one will be shorter. But now we can get into our actual news for this week, starting with Young Justice Season 3.
Yes.
I am so excited about this. I am so pumped. Yes, and it is extra nice. It is icing on the cake that we, in some small way, might be partially responsible for its.
Absolutely. Yeah. All those many moons ago, back
Yes.
on a bajillion episodes, time past, we had a little call to action about how everyone should go and watch this season 2 to make sure this gets done. And I like to think that maybe we weren't entirely responsible, just mostly responsible for the success of season 3 happening. So. You're welcome, everybody.
Yeah, we literally said, like, all right, go watch it. Back then, we couldn't actually do call to actions, but we were like, go think about watching Young Justice on Netflix.
I think we actually did something stupid like that.
Yeah.
It was like, these exist, and I can't tell you to watch them, but I can remind you thoroughly that they exist. Tip, tick,
Yeah. And I'm so excited about it. The one bad thing is that we know very, very little about what season 3 is going to be like. We don't have a release date. We don't even know what channel it's going to be on. We don't know if it's even going to be on a channel. I personally am hoping that it's on Netflix, because I love everything Netflix has ever made. That's not entirely true,
but blanket statement, Jesus.
But I have so much faith in Netflix that I really, really hope that they just give it straight to Netflix, because they know how to treat their properties with all of the love and care that they deserve, which is just so nice.
Plus, that means I don't have to watch TV to see the episodes, which is a pain in the ass for people who don't have cable.
Yeah, like me, and probably
you.
I don't even have TV. I can't watch live TV at all.
No, neither can I.
Which is actually really, really nice. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked. The point is,
Netflix,
Young Justice, hopefully on Netflix, and it's going to have the same creative team, which is also super extra nice. It's going to have the same showrunner. It's going to have the same producers. It's going to have probably the same animators. At least that's what I think I read.
Hope so. I don't want it to turn into the new
hopefully.
Pokemon, where they all of a sudden change the art style for no reason.
Yeah, that would. Oh God, every time I look at the new Sun and Moon stuff, I'm just like,
it looks wrong, right?
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't like anything I'm seeing right now. Like, I don't like it, and I don't even care about the Pokemon TV
Neither do
shows.
I, which is weird that it bothers me, but for some reason it does.
Yeah. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the Inhumans TV show. This is a live action TV show that Marvel TV and IMAX are working together to make, which is so weird. So apparently, the way this is going to work is the Inhumans is going to be a television show that's going to air on ABC. Okay, pretty normal so far, but it's going to be filmed using only IMAX super nice, expensive movie quality cameras, and the first 2 episodes are going to be shown in theaters in like some kind of an amalgamation of, like combining the 2 episodes somehow. I'm assuming it's not just like, and then the next one starts. I'm assuming they kind of, edit them together in some capacity, but I don't know for sure.
I hope they don't just, butt them up against each other and be like, yep, there's your movie. $10, please.
Yeah, talk about lazy. And I don't know what to feel about this Inhumans thing. It seems odd to have.
It is odd. You're right, but
It seems what? What are you gonna say?
Well, I'm just concerned about the logistics of how they're going to do this TV show to movie thing. Because on the one hand, movie budgets are so much bigger than TV show budgets, and we've seen that in the difference between the Marvel shows and movies. So if this is indeed going to intended from the start here to be a movie, and these first 2 episodes are already earmarked to be that movie, are they gonna be like movie quality, and then the rest of the show is gonna be poopy special effects because they ran out of money? Or is the
Yeah,
whole
I don't
show gonna
know.
be super expensive to make up for the fact that the first two were movie quality? Or is the
I
whole show gonna be crappy because they don't want to blow the budget on the first two that's not really a movie?
I do
Like,
think that it's worth noting that this whole series is going to only be 8 episodes long, which is much shorter than most TV shows. So I feel like that's going to
still.
help make up the loss as far as CGI, because you don't have to spend as much money. When you only have to worry about 8 episodes, only 8 hours, you can spend more money on CGI because you don't have to worry about spending the money on the CGI for the next 20
Okay,
episodes.
that's true to a point, but movies are only 2 hours long and they're still way expensive. So if it's
Yes.
still movie quality CGI for 8 hours, that's 4 times the regular movie cost. That's like
I,
a
I
bajillion dollars,
the
a
what I'm
bajillion and a
think
half dollars, and
what I'm thinking is I'm thinking it's going to be somewhere in between. I don't think it's going to be quite movie quality, but I also don't think it's going to be as like kind of shitty CGI as like the Flash and
Supergirl.
Supergirl can
Supergirl is the
sometimes
bar for
be.
that.
Okay, let me
Supergirl
just tell you
aggravates me.
as a quick thing about Supergirl, I've been watching season 2 of Supergirl and it's so much better. The
Oh, okay.
CGI is better, the writing is better, the acting is better. Literally everything is better in season 2.
Well, I'm glad
To
they
the
shook the
point where
cobwebs
I would
off then.
say that that Supergirl is the best show currently on CW. Like of the four CW shows,
Mm-hmm.
because like it's really good. Just
Wow,
had
okay.
to quick say that
That
it's
was not expected.
surprisingly awesome.
But you guys sit through the
Anyway,
first season, right?
I did not actually. I didn't. I just went straight to the second season. I watched the first like 3 episodes of the first season, and I just said, you know what? I'm just gonna skip to the second season, and that's what I did.
Okay, well that
And
sounds like cheating, but
maybe someday I'll actually watch the first season, but I'd rather not. Because I
okay.
didn't like it. I did not like it very much at all. I thought it was really dumb, but it's a lot better now, so that's nice. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. I want to focus on Inhumans. This Inhumans thing, I feel like there's a very good chance that this is going to be a replacement not only for the Inhumans movie that Marvel kept saying they were going to make, even though there's like no chance of that actually happening, especially now, uh, and also be a replacement for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., because I think it's very unlikely that ABC is going to want to have two Marvel TV shows airing at the same time that are both about Inhumans, like in a year's time, because this is coming out like next year, like
Yeah,
2017.
that would be pretty silly. Also,
So
Agents of Shield sucks, right, Adam?
no, Agents of Shield is amazing and it's so good, and this season is even better than the last season's. And I hate you. I hate you so much. You're the worst kind of person.
Let the hate flow through you, Adam.
The only way I can see Agents of Shield surviving this is if they completely like go back to the drawing board and have like season 5, if there is one, not to be about Inhumans like at all, and they like focus on something else entirely. Which I don't think they're gonna do. I really
No,
do.
it does. I mean, I haven't seen the show in a while, but it does seem like it would be easier just to, cut it off here and make the next logical progression be what the story was about anyway, is an entirely different property that they were trying to
Yeah,
set up anyway,
yeah. No,
as
I
actual
agree.
canon instead of sort of canon, like they were doing with this Agents of Shield.
It's canon. Screw you, Steve. It's still canon. It
It's off to
counts.
the side canon. Who cares canon?
It's still canon, Steve. Canon is canon. How
Okay.
dare you insult my Agents of Shield?
Okay,
How
whatever you say,
dare
man.
how dare you, sir? It
Okay.
is definitely canon, 100% canon.
All right, whatever.
Anyway,
Coulson died, but
we're
whatever.
not moving on, but I want to get back to Inhumans.
Okay.
Um, I there's a theory out there in the interwebs that the reason that they're deciding to basically can the Inhumans movie and make this weird TV show thing is because they have the rights to something better, like, oh, maybe Fantastic Four. And because they didn't want to have Inhumans go up against Fantastic Four, since the two of them are kind of sort of similar, because Inhumans is all about, like, it's like a royal family, and they're all a bunch of crazy people with powers, kind of like uh, Fantastic Four, that they're ditching the Inhumans, but they don't want to get rid of all the work they've already done on Inhumans. So that's why they're making this weird TV show thing, and which means that we would be getting Fantastic Four in Phase 4, which would be really cool.
I mean,
I
if
really
you like
want it.
Fantastic Four, sure.
I don't really care about Fantastic Four as a group. I care about Fantastic Four because I want to have Doctor Doom back in Marvel lineup. I don't. I'm sick of Doctor Doom being consistently screwed over by Fox because they have no idea what Doctor Doom is at all.
That's very true. They really have no idea what they're doing. But I maintain my stance that in this snarling fight for pack dominance right now, um, the folks over at Fox are a lot more desperate, and they are going to hold on to anything they have that makes money, i.e., the X-Men and Doctor Doom and the Fantastic Four, whatever. They're not going to let those things go. Like, they are going to go down swinging, holding on to those properties as long as they can before they have to finally give them up because they're going to go bankrupt from all the crap movies they make.
Yeah.
But there's not going to be no civil deals being made here.
Well, speaking of civil deals, and this is actually our next news topic, Marvel and Fox actually made a deal to swap characters in for Deadpool and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 because basically Fox wanted Negasonic Teenage Warhead in Deadpool
For whatever reason.
And Marvel wanted Ego the Living Planet for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And so they just kind of traded those characters to each other. And I'm thinking that kind of maybe makes it slightly more plausible that they're going to reach some kind of agreement in regards to Fantastic Four, or at the very least in regards to Doctor Doom. That's my
guess, but those are both characters they don't actually care about. So, okay, when Fox obtained the rights to the X-Men, they didn't specifically get Negasonic Teenage Warhead. They just got all the mutants, and they were like, okay, here, you can have this one we didn't even know we had, whatever. But like, things like like the Fantastic Four, whatever, but things with names that they know they own and they know make money, that's not negotiable. They're not going to let those things go. That's all they have left.
You're right you're right that Fantastic Four is obviously much more valuable than freaking Negasonic Teenage Warhead or Ego the Living Planet. I'm mostly just using this deal to kind of show that Fox and Marvel can work together, and they at least have some form of a business relationship. So,
I guess
a somewhat friendly one.
Friendly might not be the word. This is not this is not my company benefits your well, okay, it is my company benefits your company benefits, but it's not like a shake hands and let's do better by each other and we can make this work for the good of the companies and all that. This is I want something you have and you need something I have, and unfortunately there's no legal action for me to take these things from you, so we have to grit our teeth and smile as we shake hands, spy versus spy style, just waiting for the other to blink so they can rip off their shirts and tear each other to pieces.
I'm just imagining like a Full Metal Alchemist like shirt off with Armstrong and that one guy just like,
oh yeah,
look at my franchise.
It's exactly like that. Except that Fox is woefully ill-equipped.
Yeah.
Because
they
lucked into some good properties that now Marvel needs.
This has just been good transition after good transition. Speaking of Fox being woefully equipped, Fox is apparently going back to the drawing board with the X-Men movie franchise because they are, quote, reconfiguring, end quote, the X-Men franchise as a whole because of the lackluster reception of X-Men Apocalypse. And to me, this is exciting not only because it's like, good, you're actually going to think things through and actually take your time on making a good film. That's always nice. But it also means that clearly this is not the moneymaker that they were expecting it to be. It's not selling the way that they want, at least not right now. And yeah, they're probably going to try to, they're probably going to try to make it work before they're going to give up any rights to Marvel. But still, things are not looking very good for Fox right now. Fox has made deals with Marvel in the past, and now Marvel suddenly cancels their plans to make an Inhumans movie and makes it into this weird TV show movie hybrid. All of these things are pointing to a potential deal by Fox and Marvel behind the scenes. all three of these things. I don't know.
Okay,
To me, it's like
that's fine. But can I get back to that X-Men thing now about
sure.
the rebuilding of X-Men or whatever?
Yeah, you can get back to that. Sure.
I understand your point of view. I disagree. I look at it a much more cynical way, in the sense of what Sonic Team has been doing all of these years, and they're saying to themselves, this didn't work. But instead of addressing the issues or taking on the specific complaints of the people who bought the tickets or the game, depending on what franchise we're talking about at the time, we're just going to burn it to the ground and try something entirely different in the vain hope that that will be the magic combination that makes people love this again. For example, Sonic Boom, or whatever the next thing Fox comes out with.
I know what you mean, where it's just like, that didn't work, time to reboot it. And I hate that.
Yeah, because it stinks of desperation
mindset.
And cowardice.
I feel like there's another example of that I'm not thinking of, that like has always driven me crazy, but I can't think of what it was.
What, where they just rebooted something after it
didn't work? They just keep rebooting every time it doesn't work, and it's like, no, just stick with something and like try to make it work instead of just resetting it over and over. Actually, that's actually a good example. That's not what I was thinking. It doesn't matter. But the thing about the Fox thing is they're not like rebooting the X-Men franchise. I mean, they've kind of already did that once. They're not doing that. They're not rebooting it. They're just trying to take more time to think about what they're going to make next instead of just pumping out a bunch of garbage like they have been doing.
I hope you're right. I hope they're doing what Ubisoft promised they were doing with the Assassin's Creed games and taking a step back to re-examine the pile of bullshit they've been building up around their ankles all this time.
Yes.
I hope.
Yes, that's actually a good metaphor, is that Ubisoft is doing kind of the same thing, and I hope that that's what Fox is doing with their thing. I hope.
Instead of just being, sad.
Yeah, instead of just being sad.
Showing no artistic vision or integrity. Which would be cynical of me to say, so I'm not going to say that, of course.
Never. So we're going to move on to our next bit of news, and this is non-related to anything else we've been talking about. This is just straight up video game news.
Hooray!
So apparently, there's a rumor that that Pokemon Sun and Moon is going to get some kind of a third version. Like, I'm going to call it Pokemon Eclipse until proven otherwise. And it's going to be a launch title for the Nintendo Switch, which makes me very, very happy because I like Pokemon, I like Nintendo, I like the Nintendo Switch, and I like the Nintendo Switch getting Pokemon on it because we've never had a home console have Pokemon before. Like, at least a mainline Pokemon game.
Yeah.
Like, there's like Pokemon Stadium, but that doesn't really
Snap.
count.
Don't forget Pokemon Snap.
Oh, how could I forget about Pokemon Snap, Steve? But what do you think about this Pokemon Eclipse, as we're going to call it, being on the Switch?
I have really no issue with that. Based on like the unique circumstances of the Switch being a console and a handheld at the same time, it doesn't really seem that out of place at all, really. It just kind of seems like what you would get if you played your DS on your TV, and I have no problem with that. Like, I mean, as far as Pokemon being a launch title, though, we've never had that before. I don't actually... Well, no, I'm trying to think of any Pokemon game ever that's been any kind of launch title, and I can't think of any of them. I think Hey You Pikachu might have been a launch with the specific Pikachu-themed N64, but that came out after the original N64, so that doesn't really count as a launch title, I guess. But whatever. So, it's just a bizarre concept, but I don't really see any problems with that. And other than the fact that it sucks for whoever already bought Pokemon.
Like me.
Yeah, like you, and lots of other
like
folks
me.
who sat up at midnight to buy it.
Well, I mean, I don't think that's necessarily true. I mean, Pokemon fans are weird. They'll buy literally
they
anything.
Buy the same version of the game twice anyway. I know that that's the case. But, I mean, if somebody... Usually those third versions of the game come out late, because they're usually like a combination of the two that are already out, and they're like the abridged version. Yeah. Usually those come out later, you know? Like Emerald came out way after Ruby and Sapphire.
Yeah, that was like at least a full year, maybe more.
But this one's basically like, hey, in a couple months, we're going to be releasing the super version of this game that you suckers already bought, so feel free to buy that one too.
Yeah,
you're not a little wrong. Insensitive, actually.
It's really weird. It's really weird to me to think like, if this was something that, like, I don't know, EA did, I'd be super pissed.
Oh yeah.
But since this is something Nintendo is doing,
We let them get a
it
free
like
ride
doesn't bother
because it's
me.
Nintendo.
Yeah, it's just like, no, it's fine. Don't worry
And
about it.
okay,
It's fine.
they might be a little bit more cynical. Okay, here I am defending Nintendo again.
Yeah.
But I mean, we might be being a little cynical about it because it being on the NX or Jesus the Switch. Sorry, the Switch.
Yes, the
It might
Switch.
actually be drastically different than the handheld one. That's just me. That's just me rationalizing. That's probably not the case, but it could be. It could be well worth itself in its own game to not to have it in addition to your regular DS one. But most likely it's probably just going to be the combo version again, and you're going to feel really silly for having bought your individual or possibly both the other versions, and then you're going to have to buy your triple version again because consume, you sheep.
Yeah. No, no, I hear what you're saying, and I I'm still okay with it.
I'm
Despite
really
all,
not that upset about it either.
despite everything, it's like, you know what? It's fine.
And I prefer
Like,
buying the combo ones anyway, so
me,
you know.
actually, yeah. So do I. I usually go for the actually. Let me be real. I always buy all three. I always do.
Yes, well, you have a
I am
problem,
a sheep.
but
I am a sheep.
Emerald is like
Uh,
my favorite one. I'm so glad that Emerald
Dude,
happened.
Emerald was so good. Oh my god.
Because it saves me of having
Emerald.
that stupid duality of having to pick whether, which
I'm still
legendary I want.
I'm still mad we never got like an Omega Emerald. I'm still mad about it.
Oh,
Like
it's happening
why?
someday. Someday. Have
Someday.
faith.
Okay,
For the
someday.
NX
Great.
it'll
All
happen.
right.
Oh, the Switch. I'm sorry.
Speaking of the Nintendo Switch, this is a less good thing. Breath of the Wild, the next Zelda game, is rumored to be getting delayed again. And I don't know how you feel about this, Steve, but I'm getting kind of sick of the delays at this point. This has been
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. I had thought. But
this
go
is
ahead.
this is no, 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 it's okay. I was just going to say that this has been a long time coming for this game, and it feels weird that they're going to delay it for like what, the third time. It's been delayed like I think over 2 years. Is this going to be like the last Guardian or Half-Life
Oh
3?
no,
Like, for
nothing will ever be
God's
Half-Life,
sake. Well, that's true, but like, I don't
including
know. What were you
Half-Life.
gonna say?
Half-Life will
What were
never
you
be
gonna say?
Half-Life either. So everybody get over that. But um, I I actually remember a long time ago when we were talking about when this first got announced and it first got delayed.
Yeah.
Or I guess those two things don't really gel. But okay, the first time it got delayed, I remember saying to myself and validating Nintendo again, but I guess this still holds true for anybody. I I don't really mind delays if it's for just to improve the game. Like if it's better to be late and have a good thing than to be on time with your promised date and have some bullshit like Ubisoft does or EA does or
Hmm.
Activision or any number of folks do. But so I mean I remember defending them at the time, going like I'm fine with them delaying because I would rather have a good thing a little later than a bad thing right away. But that was like 3 delays ago, and I also remember saying there's a fine line between delaying for quality and delaying because you don't know what you're doing. And I feel like we're really tipping the needle in the direction of they're just ironically they have no direction, and things are kind of a mess over there, Nintendo Zelda Studios or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I don't
Because I
know.
mean, sure we've seen like the mocked up trailers and stuff, and it looks all pretty and whatever. But I mean, those are obviously very carefully choreographed to not show you any of the fuck ups. But
Oh yeah,
I
obviously, of
mean, I'm
course.
I'm concerned by actually, you know what? No, you know what? I am concerned because this looks really cool. I'm actually kind of impressed with this one, despite the fact that it's basically like Oblivion or whatever. But I mean, it would be cool if it came out, and it's a little disturbing that it's getting pushed back so much farther than it was originally intended to. I don't really mind that it got pushed far enough back to be on the Switch, because I think wait, it was always planned to be on the Switch and the Wii U, right? Was it always planned
Um,
to be that, or was it just Wii U and then it became both?
no, it was always planned to be on
Okay,
both.
well then that doesn't even
That
matter.
was
But see, I mean, the Switch isn't really out yet, so we can't even really say it's late, you know? Because honestly, you can't say a game is late for a console that hasn't even come out yet. Granted, it's for the
yeah,
Wii U, but nobody's getting it for the Wii U. Come on, nobody's getting it for the Wii U.
yeah. I'm not. I don't even think I'm gonna get it for the Wii U.
So I mean, like when the Switch does come out, if it's like 2 months or whatever later than that, like whatever. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it's irritating, and yeah, there's clearly some problems going on over there. I don't know what the deal is with them, and what disastrous stampede of animals ran through their, messing up all their files or what have you. But it just somebody hit a chicken and everyone died. But it,
Wow.
Would you like that Zelda reference?
Yeah, that was good.
I mean, I don't
No,
know.
I actually I agree with you that like I'm willing to allow games to get delayed. I'm not the kind of person to get really upset about that. But there is a certain point where it's just like, okay, why at this point why are you delaying it? Okay, oh yeah, I should mention that supposedly the reason they're delaying it this time, according to this one report that isn't confirmed, they're delaying it because of localization issues, like basically just translating the game into English. If that's really all that it is, okay, I guess. But it feels weird that they wouldn't have already had a plan for that. Like they should have done that months ago. Like, what's the holdup in just translating? Like, I don't know. Like this whole thing just it's just really starting to trip my my warning sense. It's like I don't know about this. Like how long are we gonna? How much faith do I have in Nintendo that I'm not gonna at least say, hey, I'm a little worried.
Well, I mean, when this
um,
does come out, and when one of us inevitably gets it, we definitely should be very scrutinizing towards it and say, okay, this had 3 delays, it had better damn well be good. And it's not that I'm pretty much going to guarantee you it's going to be good or at least acceptable because Nintendo can't do wrong. But I'm sure that when it comes out, people are going to be looking it up and down and saying, boy, it sure is a good thing this got delayed so long so that you could pop out this mediocre thing or this amazing thing, depending on, apply where applicable.
yeah, right. Yeah, no, I think that's a good point. Is that like I feel like all these delays are going to make the scrutiny even higher than it already was going to be, and Zelda already has a ton of scrutiny.
Yeah, which is
Like
not
people are
something you want on your
already.
launch title, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, that's the thing is if it is delayed, if this rumor is true and it is getting delayed again, it wouldn't be a launch title, and we don't have any idea how long it would be delayed. I'm thinking probably just a month or two because that just seems normal. That seems like what it should be.
Yeah.
If all the issue is just translating, then I think a month or two is more than enough time.
You know how they can make this up
Uh,
to me?
how
Special edition Twitch.
that
Or
would be pretty
Switch.
sweet.
Switch, not Twitch. Jesus Christ. Special edition Switch.
That would be really cool. Actually, that's a good point. Is yeah, if they did something like that, like make a special edition or like maybe I don't know, give everybody like a bonus rubies or something just because it was delayed. I don't know. There's something they could do if they really wanted to. I don't think they're going to do anything like that, but it'd be
Free
a nice
Zelda
thing for them to
amiibo.
do. Dude, don't even say that. You'll get me super excited for something that isn't gonna happen. Like that'd be amazing. But yeah, I'm a little bit nervous about this, but I'll keep my faith in Nintendo as long as I possibly can. So, we're gonna move on to our final bit of news. It is still video game news, and that is that Watch Dogs 2 has an Easter egg that is actually like a full-fledged trailer for a new Ubisoft game. And basically, the setup for this is there's this side mission where you have to hack into what is basically Ubisoft, like actual Ubisoft, and then you find this trailer that was apparently going to be released at like E3 supposedly inside this game, which is really this is a really weird thing.
That's
Uh,
actually kind of clever and adorable. Actually, I kind
yeah,
of love that.
I actually kind of like the way that they did this, where it's like, oh no, it's you're hacking it to find this E3 trailer that
Oh
you know,
no, you found our super secret trailer.
yeah, right, exactly. And it's this weird space-looking game called that's being codenamed Pioneer. That's not the final name. That's just what its name is currently. And it looks like a mix between No Man's Sky, FTL, and Firefly. It's basically the whole trailer is pretty basic. It's just a bunch of like weird looking geometrical shapes floating in space, set to like some twangy guitar music, and it looks okay. But I have a theory about this game. Um, I should also mention that the game was being like worked on in like in active development when they decided to include this Easter egg. But now currently the game has actually kind of hit a like a roadblock, and they don't really know where to go forward with the development. So it's kind of embarrassing for them to have this
Yeah,
Easter
whoopsie
egg for this
daisy.
game that like they're kind of stalling on because they don't know what they're doing with it. But I have a theory regarding that, because I don't think it would have been that hard for them if they're having an issue making this game. I really don't think it would have been that hard to just remove a small side mission last minute, you know?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't seem like it'd be that difficult. Just like, it could take you like a week. Just get rid of the side mission. It's not difficult.
Hmm.
Like it would be very very easy. I have a theory that they started making this game because it's still pretty early in development. I think that they started making this game when No Man's Sky was first announced because they wanted to get on that hype wagon and be like, oh, we can make a space game, to
Oh,
space
oh,
exploration
okay.
game
I see
too.
where you're going with this, but go on.
Uh, and then I think after No Man's Sky had had the huge fan backlash that it had, that suddenly Ubisoft is not, I wouldn't say in panic mode, but they're worried about how well received their game is going to be since No Man's Sky has been hated so much. And so I think what they might be doing with the, and they could have easily gotten rid of this side mission if they really wanted to. But I think they chose not to because I think that they're trying to see what the fan reaction is to this very short
You think they're
trailer.
testing the waters with their trailer?
Yes, that's exactly what I think they're doing. I think that they allowed this trailer to get into the final game for the sole reason of seeing what people's reaction is to it. Because they've already been working on it for a while, so you might as well see what people think about it before you decide to cancel it. And then if it got received positively, which I believe it has been received pretty positively, it's not like I haven't heard anything super negative about it. Then they would move forward with development. That's my personal theory. I have no reason to believe this other than the conveniency of how similar it is to No Man's Sky, how the development has slowed for no specified reason, and how easy it should be to remove a very small side mission from the game. So I don't know. That's my theory. What do you think,
I
Steve?
mean, I that seems a little out there, but I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. I guess it very well could be. I don't think so, though.
No?
I
Okay.
mean, I if they were going to make a No Man's Sky game, like they had something like that in the works, I feel like that would have been announced pretty soon after No Man's Sky was announced, or
But if they're
came out or
okay, but
whatever.
game development takes like years and
I
years that we're
understand
not.
that, but all they have to say is, "Hey, we're doing something like that too." If they did indeed want to get on that hype train without knowing how badly it was going to blow up, if you're going to follow
Hmm.
a fad that closely, you have to let people know immediately that you're doing that. You know?
Well, you're right that they probably should have mentioned it earlier, but I feel like the development was so early that they were waiting to just show it. It's
Maybe.
kind of like the whole Watch Dogs thing. When Watch Dogs was first announced, no one knew that they were making it, and it was like this big crazy surprise at E3 in like 2011 or whatever, and everyone was super pumped about it because it was like this amazing thing. It's like, oh my god, like they're making this like GTA clone but with hacking, and it's gonna be amazing, and the graphics look so
And
good.
then it wasn't any
Yeah,
of those things.
yeah, it wasn't any of those things.
Well, it was a GTA clone. We got
It,
we
it
get
was
that
a
one for
it
sure.
was a GTA clone with hacking. It just wasn't very good. Uh,
Nor did it look very good.
no, it didn't. Not really. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't what they promised. Anyway, that's not important.
Which is
The point is
also
that
like No Man's Sky.
I think Ubisoft didn't want to just announce it right away. They wanted to start working on it as soon as they could, and then hope that No Man's Sky came out and everyone loved it, and then after that be like, hey, look it, this is No Man's Sky but even better. But then No Man's Sky came out, everyone hated it, and now they don't know what to do because they don't want to be associated with No Man's Sky when it's hated so much, even though they used No Man's Sky as a direct inspiration for this game. That's my theory. I don't know if it's true, but that just to me seems like the most likely scenario. And I'm okay with them making a No Man's Sky clone. Personally, I like the idea of No Man's Sky, even though I think No Man's Sky is a giant pile of shit. And I'm okay with someone else coming in and saying like, you know what, let's take this idea and actually make it work. So I'm totally down with them making a really awesome space exploration game. I just hope that it isn't. I just hope that it isn't No Man's Sky.
Pretty much,
Basically.
pretty much. Okay, well, I mean, I don't know if I 100% agree, but I guess I could see your reasonings with that. So, okay, sure, we'll have to wait and see how that unfolds,
Yeah.
and maybe they'll announce at the next three whoopsie daisy guys, we had to emergency remake our game so it wasn't actually like that at all.
Right. So now that's all of our news. So we will move on to humble opinion, and I don't have one this week because I'm too busy playing Pokemon. But I am not far enough in Pokemon to be able to talk about it yet. So I'm gonna wait until at least a week or maybe two before I talk about that. So I'll let you go ahead, Steve.
Okay.
Talk about your humble opinion.
Hey, you know what we didn't talk about actually before we go? We didn't talk about any of the Overwatch stuff that came out.
Oh, you mean like Sombra and
Yeah,
whatnot?
and the new game modes that they did that are super not balanced at all.
Yeah, they're crappy. I've only barely played them. I didn't want to talk about it yet because I've only barely touched them. I mean, it came out like I think just a few days ago, or at least
Yeah,
I think
it did.
so.
It did.
So I am not. I don't want to talk about it quite yet because I want to be able to
Okay,
play it
well,
more
it's gonna be
first.
too late to talk about later, so I'm just gonna give you the quick and dirty right now. So, if you're playing 3v3, play as Roadhog because Roadhog is busted in that game mode, and you will not lose.
Also,
And
freaking Soldier 76. Good freaking god.
no,
For
Roadhog's
me,
better.
Soldier
Roadhog
Soldier
better.
76 was kicking our asses because he's like one of the only characters who can heal himself
Yeah, but Roadhog
really
heals better,
easily. That's true.
and he's got the hook one shot. So, Roadhog is best character. That or McCree.
Yeah.
McCree kills everybody except Roadhog, and then Roadhog kills everybody. So, play as one of them.
And
Uh,
Sombra's really good too.
Not as
Sorry.
good as Roadhog. Roadhog is best.
Fine, Steve.
I'm
Fine.
serious. Like Roadhog is busted. Like there's nobody better than Roadhog in that game mode. And the 1v1 thing, everyone's complaining that it's got to be like, they're random and everyone has to play as the same characters. Like
Yeah.
yeah. I think that makes so much more sense than having to pick your own characters. Or if it was random but you both got different characters. Because if it's everybody gets to pick their own character, everyone's just you're gonna hear all the people on the internet going, "Wah, I lost because they picked the counter to my character." Wah. And then if it's totally random, they're gonna go, "Wah, the RNG gods gave me a bad character and they got the counter to my character." Wah. So if it's
No,
everybody picks the same character, or not everybody picks if everyone gets
everybody
assigned the same
gets.
character, everyone's on
Yeah.
equal playing terms, and then it's actually based on skill level. My first round, I got stuck as Tracer. I suck as Tracer, and I lost that round. And you're gonna lose
Yeah.
some rounds as characters you suck at, but that is the only opportunity where you could
I.
actually say
I.
get good.
No, I agree with you. I actually was playing that, and I got stuck as I got Sombra, and that was actually the very first time I played as Sombra. So I
Oh,
was just
okay.
like,
Yeah, that wasn't a good
oh
matchup
no,
then. Yeah.
like
There was
shit.
there was a pretty funny one I had where it was two Torbjorns, and we both just set up a turret and stood across the street from each other, and then nobody ever got killed, and then I just got brave and ran over there and died immediately.
Of course you
Or
did.
when you're playing as Symmetra, and it's basically whoever sneaks up on the other one first, because whoever gets their beam thing going first wins.
Hmm.
Unless they set up the death corridor, but just don't go near any hallways and you're fine. So yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I just wanted to address that really quick since we didn't go over it, but I just remembered it existed. So, humble opinion time. I will take it away then. So, a little while ago, Dishonored 2 came out, and I'm well established to be a fan of Dishonored 1. Just Dishonored, I guess. So I thought I would
Yep.
take it upon myself to play this one. And in my humble opinion, Dishonored 2 is exactly the same as the first one, but a little better.
Wow.
I know.
It's
I mean,
some
that's
solid reviewing right
well.
there.
Okay, I mean,
It's the same game, but
no, but
marginally
it
better.
is. But it is the same game. Like,
Is it really?
okay, I'll explain. So, our story begins a bunch of years afterward, after the events of the first game. Corvo is still basically in the same position he started as, protecting the Empress, only now the Empress is that little girl from the first game. He works.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Well, that was. Also, the game right in the beginning, tries to sneak a lot of shit past us like we were supposed to already know it, but it never told us, and you gotta grab it by the choke chain and yank it back and say, hold on, you can't get away with that. For example, Corvo has a last name now. It's
What?
Atano now. He never had a last name before. They just tried to sneak that one past us and thought we wouldn't notice, but we did. But we noticed. Also, the game tries to sneak past you that the little girl is Corvo's daughter. That was never explained either, but they thought we wouldn't notice, but we did. You can't just try to slip that in there and think no one's gonna pay attention to that. No fair. No.
I
sir.
thought that was kind of implied.
I know, but they never actually said it. It was just supposed to be like, self-text or something, and then it basically opens with the first, I think like her first word, her first sentence that she says.
Dada.
No, her first sentence, like, I remember training with my father or whatever, and then it like goes to your tutorial level with Corvo, and it's like, okay, well, so much for subtext, but whatever. So you're sitting in the throne room now. It's the first day of the anniversary of what's-her-face, the Empress's death, however many years later, because I guess you celebrate that every year. And you're sitting in the throne room, and then this fat little Duke man comes in and he says, hey, special guests, I bring you gifts on this glorious day of your mother dying. And then he drops off this chick named Delilah, who was actually a villain from some DLC from the first game that I never played because it was DLC, but apparently she was in that. And she claims to be the sister of the Empress and the actual heir to the throne, whereupon she freezes...
That's not how it works, but okay.
I know, but it does in Dishonored world. And then she freezes Corvo and Carbonite and steals his powers.
Are you fucking kidding?
No, this really happens.
That's really dumb so far. But
and
okay.
then you have to, and then he breaks out or whatever, and then you have to pick your character, and you either play as Corvo or you play as the little girl, but a grown-up now. I picked Corvo my first time around because I don't like change and I like to pick things that fit familiar, so I picked Corvo. Whereupon she freezes in Carbonite or whatever the person you didn't pick. And then you get pistol whipped in the back of the head and taken off to be arrested instead of just killed on the spot like you really should have been. But, you escape from your new chambers and escape the city to go back to this new city that's functionally identical to the last city, but totally not the same, to rally the troops, take out all of her little minion guys, and find a way to kill her. Oh, and Corvo can talk now.
That's weird.
Yes, and he sounds utterly generic and utterly boring. And he has no personality. It's what I call the Isaac Clarke syndrome, where he really should have just stayed a silent protagonist because he doesn't contribute anything by saying words.
I actually don't agree. I liked that Isaac Clarke started talking in the second game because I always was pissed off that he wasn't screaming his head off in the first one.
Well, maybe he was under the helmet. You just couldn't hear it.
Yeah, okay.
I prefer it that way. No one can hear you scream in space. Anyway. So basically, you, instead of going to a little port town and hang out in a bar in between missions, now you go on a boat. And you take a little raft thingy to every one of the little mini-map semi-linear areas, just like the last game. You can choose to kill the person that you're sent there to kill, or do a little extra work to find the non-lethal way to take them out, just like the last game. You get your powers back from the outsider, just like the last game. Unless you're playing as the girl, in which case you get them for the first time, but whatever. Corvo has the exact same powers this time around. He still has the blink teleport, he still has the possession, he still has the call the rats thing. He's got all the same stuff, but they added some fun new game mechanics now that actually make this game actually sort of conducive to a non-violent run.
Really?
For example, if you are do you remember the first game at all, your non-lethal options, what they were?
Yeah, they sucked.
It was choke a guy from behind or shoot a guy with a sleep dart and then wait 20 minutes for him to fall asleep.
Yes.
Okay.
I remember. That's
that's
actually why I stopped playing, because I was so frustrated.
They addressed that issue though. For example, now if you are noticed, you can sword fight a guy, and parrying an attack will leave them open for a lethal kill, but it'll also open them up for a counterattack where you karate chop them and then choke them out. So if you get noticed, you don't have to kill them. You can actually non-lethal take them down still, which is really cool. Additionally, there is this neat new slide tackle thing where you can run at a guy and then hit the crouch button and you will double drop kick him in the shins, and then you can hit the counter or the non-lethal button and you'll basically just do a judo flip and take him out. By the way, I beat the final boss exclusively with that technique.
Good job.
Yes. But I found in this game here, there's also lots of new ways to kill people. There's all sorts of fun new like bolts and gun stuff you can use now. But I didn't use any of that because non-lethal only. I haven't gotten to my Slitty McStab run yet because I always do the non-lethal one first.
Sorry. Okay, continue. Continue.
But what's cool is I actually found myself not hiding in the shadows and, whenever I get noticed, just standing up and dropping my sword and getting Ben Kenobi'd or whatever. Because now you actually have a chance to fight guys off without having to worry about jeopardizing your non-lethal score, which is really cool.
That's actually awesome.
I know, it's great. Like, because I found myself, like, Batman Arkham Asyluming this thing, I would be, like, taking out dudes silently, but if I get noticed, I just run in there and arrow flint them, because you can, if you're good enough at it, you can deflect a sword and grab a guy. What sucks, though, is I don't know if the AIs are just morons, or if this is actually programmed into the game on purpose, but if you grab a guy and start choking him out, it's still, you still have to actually, like, hold the button to choke him. The enemy will still attack you through him, and then they will kill him.
That's dumb.
Which is actually
does that count against you?
Yes.
That's
sort of.
dumb.
Sometimes it doesn't seem to always. I don't know. I don't understand what the difference is. So it works fine if it's 1-on-1. Like if you like come up around a corner and there's a guy there and you didn't realize that you still have a chance to like grab him and not blow it. But if you're in a crowd of like 4 guys, you might as well just put your controller down because you're not going to win. Or at least you're not going to non-lethally win until you get the wind blast power, I suppose. But I got that like at the end of the game and forgot about it most of the time.
Sorry.
Yeah,
that's how it usually works.
That's pretty cool though that they gave you that option to like because that was one of the main issues. That being said, there is a serious problem with folks accidentally dying because they give you a little report card at the end of all your all the individual missions to let you know how how stealthy you were and how many folks died on your watch and how many times you were seen. Which I think my record for setting off alarms was 127 in one level.
120. Oh my God, Steve.
Because once every
suck.
time you get seen, it counts as a new alarm. So after I got noticed, I just ran through the level, attracting a lot of attention, to look for a hiding spot or whatever. So you get seen a lot. But there seems to be a lot of problem with, I don't know if this is a collision problem or something, but people seem to be really sensitive, and I killed a lot of folks by accident. Not enough to actually like change the ending at all. I still got the low chaos ending. But okay, so I'll sneak up on a guy, right? And I'll sling him over my shoulder and I'll try to put him down, but whoops, he slipped on some rocks or something and bashed his head on a table. Whoops, he's dead. I did this one thing where I snuck up on these 2 guys, but I knew I wasn't going to be able to take them both out, so I snuck up behind the guy, one grabbed him, and pushed him into the first guy, and the first guy fell into the water, so I ran up to get the second guy that I had pushed, knocked him out, went to go get the guy from the water and ready my sword, but whoopsie-daisy, apparently they don't teach swimming in whatever soldier school he's from, and he drowned. Don't know how that... I'm pretty sure I pushed him off a bay, so if he stood up, he would have been above the water. But he drowned. And I have a...
That's like Assassin's Creed logic right there.
It's pretty great. Then he making the splash noise alerted another guard, which was at the top of the stairs, who ran down the stairs, tripped, fell down the stairs, and then I just judo chopped him on the floor while he landed in front of my feet. And I have footage of that, and it was pretty hilarious.
That's amazing.
I know. He didn't die though. I just thought that one was funny. I have another one where somebody actually threw a grenade at me, then ran after me and died on his own grenade. So that wasn't my fault, but that was just funny. But the newest, bestest new thing is this the mechanical soldiers, which are bullshit, by the by. The game tells you they're deaf, which is a dirty lie. Oh, I'm sorry. It tells you they're blind.
Oh, blind. I was about to say, I was like, what?
Yeah, they're blind.
They're
deaf.
deaf.
Which is bullshit, because not only can they see you in front of them, but they can also see you behind them, so you can't sneak up on them. They also have, like, wicked sweet hearing, because even if you're standing still, they'll still hear you somehow.
So it's like Daredevil logic. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, he's blind, but he's actually can see better than anybody else because of that.
They're also immune to damage. So if you try to run up there and swing at them, you will bounce off and then you will die because they have Goro arms and Scyther blades. So you're not going to win that fight. You're pretty much, my main tactic was jump on top of them and do the aerial takedown, which takes off their head but doesn't actually kill them. It just makes them blind, for real this time. and then you have to do it again to actually kill them. So they have a stun laser blast electricity thing that has like infinite range, which is just stupid, and they will chase you forever, and they never lose sight of you, and it's horseshit, and they're faster than you, and they're scary, and it's terrible, and I hate it. They only show up a couple times, but every time they do, it's like, okay, well, you just ruined my whole strategy.
I'm sorry, Steve.
Yes,
That's actually
but
very
those are
funny
real
though.
cool. But
So, what do you think, Steve? As someone who didn't really like the first one, do you think that I would like the second one?
I'm not actually done. Thanks for
Oh,
interrupting.
all right. I'm
But
just curious.
yes. I think you probably would, especially if you play as the girl, which I'm about to get to here. But if you, it does have that sense of you don't immediately fuck up after getting seen, and you have more than one way of non-lethally taking. I actually didn't shoot that many sleep darts just because I dealt with people close up more. But I think you'd like this one better. But the girl,
Okay.
she has totally different powers to Corvo, which I didn't know, or I would have played it as her first. But whatever. She
Oh yeah,
doesn't
you
have.
didn't know that?
Well, I knew she
I'm
had
sorry.
I thought they both had the same new powers. I didn't know they both had different powers.
Oh yeah, I actually knew that they had different powers
Yeah, well,
somehow.
well, whatever. Anyway, so she doesn't actually have the blink teleport. She has like a fling thing where she like bungee cords herself. With magic though, to wherever she needs to go. So she kind of flies over it. So it's not really as good. But she also has shadow clone jutsu, and she also has the ability to create magical wiggly things in space that can distract people so you can walk by. And she can also psychically link 3 of them or whatever. So if you choke one guy out, all of them get choked out. So she's like
Nice.
way better.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Also, you can take no
I
fall
gotta try
damage.
this game.
You would take no fall. This is a neat trick I saw online the other
That's
day.
amazing.
No, you do. But if you use her shadow clone jutsu and then land on her clone and kill it, you don't take fall damage. So you can jump
That's
off any height, spawn a clone on the ground, and then immediately land on it and kill it, and then you will take no damage,
that's awesome.
which is really cool. So yes, but the fine points are basically the same. You're still going to all the different little maps, and you're still basically looking for the one guy you need to kill slash find the alternate way of getting rid of him, which I did. I did all the alternate ones. I was a little pissed off because there was what I suspected was a secret door that had like this combination riddle on it. Like there were 10 locky things, and then there was like a riddle next to it, and you had to like. It was one of those stupid things where it's like this person had this color shirt and this color hat, and they sat next to 3 seats down from this person who ate this and drank this, and try to figure out who sat where, and that kind of dumb riddle. And I thought it was a secret, and I didn't want to figure it out, right? I didn't want to like go online and look it up.
Oh yeah, you didn't want to cheat.
Yeah, I wanted to use my brain power. So I got out a pen and some paper, and I wrote down all the clues, and I think I figured out one person of the 5 I needed. And I was like, no, screw this noise. I'm just going to go back to stabbing people. And then later on, the non-violent mission just gives you the answer to that. And I was like, well, that's kind of a letdown, because I thought maybe that was supposed to be something important, but it turns out it wasn't.
Oh, that's dumb.
Yes. So at the end of all that nonsense, after you take out all of her minions and find out the secrets to her powers and all that stuff, and there's a super awesome level towards the end of the game where you have like this time compass thingy where you travel back and forth between 2 time periods in the same location to like infect the world, which is really cool. And you have like this little looky glass thing you can look through to show you the other time period that you're not in, so you can like see stuff even though you're not there. It's pretty cool. So that was a very interesting last level. So basically you go back to Delilah and you kick her ass, and you can either kill her or trap her inside the Matrix.
I would just kill her.
Well,
Just saying.
I didn't do I did the non-violent run, so I had to trap her in the Matrix.
Oh, right.
Rest assured, next time I'm gonna slit her up. So that was basically the game. It's pretty cool. If you liked the first one, you'll definitely like this one because it's the same thing but better.
So,
And if you didn't like the first one,
Did you seriously play the game twice with both characters already? How did you have time for that?
No, I didn't make it all the way through with the girl yet, but.
Oh, okay. I was about to say,
aside
like,
from some
jeez.
basic, I'm doing a non-lethal with both of them first because I wanted to see if anything was different. And so far, just some dialogue is slightly altered to represent the fact that it's a woman talking instead of Corvo talking. But generally, the fine strokes are the same, or the broad strokes are the same. Sorry, so I mean, basically just the powers that matter. I'm pretty sure the end scene wrap-up cutscene's probably the same too, since they're both in it. But whatever. So yeah, you rescue whoever you didn't save, and then you kill the bad lady or trap her in the Matrix. And yeah, if you liked the first one, you're gonna like this one because it's the same but better. And if you didn't like the first one, you still might like this one because it fixes a lot of the problems of the other one.
Sweet.
Okay.
That you sold me. I'll get it when it's cheap. Because that's how I do games nowadays.
I mean, you could just like rent it too.
Well, yeah, but I don't like renting. It bothers me to rent because like I feel like I don't have time to fully explore the game, you know?
Well, I mean, you don't, but it's a short game because they didn't really make it longer either.
Ah.
Which
Okay,
I don't
so
have a problem with because it doesn't overstay its welcome then.
so do you have anything else to say, or
Nope,
are you
I think that's it.
you good? Okay, so then let's just wrap things up with who to win,
Okay,
and then that'll be it.
All right, here we go.
So
Let me guess, you didn't make your cup of...
no, I didn't. I'm a busy man who is also really lazy and always forgets to do things. So that's my life, Steve.
Okay.
I am going
great,
to,
not great
I'm going to
excuses, but
go
okay.
I'm going to go with Daisy Johnson as my first one. She's an Inhuman on Agents of Shield, my favorite show of all time.
Okay.
That's not true, but I like to pretend it is
Okay.
sometimes.
I got Gordon Freeman.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
All right, so the challenge is most overpowered.
Okay. Well, Daisy Johnson, or also known as Quake, can basically make earthquakes with her hands. She just like kind of like can vibrate stuff around her and just like shake stuff. And she sends out some sort of like vibrational stuff to like, make things break and shatter, and she can fly with it too. She can like shoot vibrations down and then like use that to fly.
That doesn't seem like that would work, but okay.
It's shut up, it works. This is a
Okay.
comic book.
Okay.
And Gordon Freeman is an asshole with a crowbar. So
Okay. First of all, he's an asshole with a crowbar and a gravity gun, I'll have you know.
okay.
And
Well,
he also has a power suit that drains his sprinting energy when he turns his flashlight on.
wow.
I know it's dumb design, but they'll still defend it. He also doesn't speak, but he has a killer goatee.
Well, Daisy Johnson does speak. She is sexy as all hell, and
Not
she is
specifically a superpower, but
no, I know. She is very well. She's a fully trained shield agent, so she knows how to use weapons and junk, and is good at hand-to-hand combat.
well, so is Gordon Freeman.
And she has superpowers that she
And
can
she
use
does
to
have
fly and break stuff and shatter people's bones and all kinds of crazy stuff like that. And I'm gonna give it to Daisy.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Daisy too. Sorry, Gordon.
Yeah.
I was so rooting for you too. Okay.
Yeah, Daisy's my girl. Sorry,
Okay.
that
All
was
right,
weird.
settle down, Chief. All right, pick somebody else.
All right. I am going to go with Star Lord because we talked about Guardians of the Galaxy kind of sorta.
Okay.
So
I got
I was gonna go with Ego the Living Planet, but I don't know anything about him, so I'm
Well,
going
he's
to
a
go with
planet
Star
that's
Lord.
alive, and he has a beard and eyebrows made of mountains. Okay, so
Okay.
I got Spawn.
Oh,
Couldn't have got
man.
overpowered for that one, huh? Damn it.
No, Spawn sucks. I hate Spawn.
What did Spawn ever do to you?
He's too powerful. It's ridiculous.
I got lamest. That's the power, or that's the challenge. Who's lamest?
Okay. Who did I pick again? Star-Lord.
Star-Lord.
Star-Lord's awesome and not lame in any way. And Spawn is 20 different flavors of lame. I don't
Wow.
like Spawn. No one likes Spawn. Spawn is dumb, and he has a really, really shitty movie that no one likes,
Oh, okay. Well then, that's concise.
which is super lame, especially compared to the awesomeness that is Star-Lord, played by Chris Pratt. I don't think Chris Pratt could ever be described as lame, unless you're talking about his role in Jurassic World, but we don't talk about that, so it's all good.
Okay, so he couldn't be this one thing except for the case where he is, but we don't count that because it doesn't help my case. So fuck you, got mine.
Come
Okay.
on, we're talking about Star-Lord, not Chris
Okay,
Pratt, and
but-
Star-Lord's awesome.
All right, well then why did you bring up Chris Pratt then?
I don't know, because I just wanted to mention that Chris Pratt is awesome, and
Okay.
Chris Pratt
Okay, great. Good
Pratt
for you.
plays Star-Lord.
Anyway, so Spawn. I disagree that Spawn is lame. I understand why you'd say that because he's OP as shit. He's not as OP as Roadhog, obviously, but he's pretty OP. And but he killed God and Satan. Well,
Oh.
he didn't actually kill him. I guess he expelled them from the universe and then created it again in his own image.
Have you seen his costume? Spawn looks like a Venom reject. He looks like a really
Spawn
shitty
looks
Venom
like
clone.
somebody was drawing a metal album cover and never stopped.
Exactly.
I understand.
That's pretty lame, Steve. It's lame as lame can be. Star-Lord has a sick
Star-Lord
helmet.
wears a duster coat and like a hockey mask, which makes him basically that dude from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
It is
Who's
so
really
not a
lame,
hockey
I'll have
mask.
you remember.
Casey Jones is lame. Star-Lord is not Casey Jones.
No, and Star-Lord isn't lame. But Spawn is not inherently lame either.
But that's not the question. The question is whether Spawn is or is not more lame than Star-Lord, and I would say that Spawn is more lame than Star-Lord. What is Star-Lord?
You know what? Fine. Spawn is lamer than Star-Lord.
Yes.
Okay.
I win 2.
You do. Okay, let's do one more. You already won this time, but I want to do another one anyway.
It's fine.
Okay. So.
Oh crap! I have to pick somebody. I'm gonna go with the protagonist from the original Watch Dogs, who is just like Mr. Gruffy McGruffington.
Oh my god, what was his name?
The most generic protagonist of all time.
God, he had a name though, and I don't remember what it was.
Alden.
I don't know.
Aiden. It's
Aiden Pierce. It was Aiden
Pierce.
And he had an iconic baseball cap you could get in the division.
Yes, that's the one. And he had a really shitty coat that he wore all the time.
That's true. Yeah. He did. What a time. Okay, well, I got Ratchet and Clank. A much better duo of characters.
Hey man, if this was a lame competition, I would be fucked.
Yeah, what's with it? This time it's like whatever we pick is like best for the previous topic.
Yeah, right? Jesus.
Oh, okay. Best character design. Get fucked, Aiden Pierce.
Damn it. Aiden Pierce has the worst character design. He's like the most generic, most uninteresting protagonist of all time. And that's just his character. But like visually, he's just a dull, boring, baseball cap wearing thug. I hate him. He's the worst.
Meanwhile, Ratchet and Clank is a super anthropomorphic Furby and a tiny, adorable little robot man, respectively. And their character design is delightful, as is everything else about them.
You win this one, no question. I still won the whole thing, but you won this round.
True. But me and Ratchet and Clank, we got our win at the end there. So we didn't go. We went home Mighty Duck style, or I don't know, Cool Runnings. I don't know. It's a sports team that loses, whoever they are.
Okay, good job, Steve.
So hooray!
All right,
cool.
So I guess that will be it for this episode. May your princess always be in the right castle. May the force be with you. See you, Space Cowboys.